Now it is Clachan that we're in here for this media evening this evening. We're looking ahead, of course, to the Maguire International Div.1 Championship Final. I'm delighted to see I'm joined by representatives of the Corduff club. We have the management team here, Pat McEnaney, Martin McNally, and of course the captain as well, Fergal Hanratty. And I suppose, Fergal, this is probably the toughest part of this whole gig is the likes of these nights. Looking forward to the big occasion itself, the final.
Oh, well, we can't wait, obviously, Sean. You know yourself, it's a great occasion for us and for our small club. It's going to be great to run out for a Div.1 minor final, and yeah, we're very excited for it.
I mentioned the word unique, incredibly unique for yourselves, because this is the first time ever, I think.
Yeah, it's definitely, and you know, even last year we won a Div.2 double, and that was even unique in itself. So to make the step up this year is it's a great achievement, and everyone's just looking forward now to the final. So
mentioned there about the wee club, Pat. So they did, and the uniqueness of the occasion running out. Mentioned about the double last year. The wonderful thing is, it's great to see that progression, having achieved what was done last year, that you're back on the cusp of it again this year.
Yeah, that was always the plan. I think when we had these group of players together at under 8s and 10s, I wanted to lose the word "we" club, and it's about getting players at under 12, under 14, under 16, going to places like Scottstown, Clontibret. We were in Bourne last week for a challenge match, and that's where I always wanted a Corduff team to be, and that when they become 21 and 22, that the thoughts of going to these big clubs, that holds no fear to them. So it's a long road, it's a long road, and it doesn't even stop at the minor final. The big challenge for the lads is, can Corduff survive in intermediate football this year? Can we produce a senior team in 2 or 3 years' time or 4 years' time? And it's always, you look at long term, but next 2 weeks is important, and it'll be, we've won the minor league, as people have said, but it'd be nice to put the championship beside it.
It certainly would. Do the double. You mentioned there about the long road. It certainly is that, because you were mentioning about the age grades of going through, and in fairness, your counterparts Aughnamullen mentioned the same as well, that they've carried these players through, and that's what it is. It all goes back over the years, the preparation towards this and the planning. Yeah,
you don't have to. If you look at Kerry, Kerry minor team 3 in a row, they went back to the. They were in a poor state, 3 or 4 years ago. They looked at the whole structure. That even filters down into club level, and it's no secret. If you put the work in, and even with, even though you have small numbers, we work on small numbers, but I'm a big believer in maximising the player you have. Make sure you can kick with 2 feet, 2 hands. To maximise the skills the player has, and even with small numbers, you can achieve big things.
You certainly can. Martin McNally's over to the right-hand side here as well. Martin, we're just looking at the championship path for you, and 2 big names taken out of it to get to where you were, Scottstown and Maharathloon. So it wasn't, just like your counterpart, it wasn't an easy path to get to the final, but then again, they never are.
No, if you want to win a Div.1 championship, there's going to be no easy games in it, so the first game against Scottstown, there was no bigger game for the guys to get up and running, and we huffed and puffed for a wee while in the first half, but we eventually got over them. The second game against Maharathloon, a real tough encounter, so it was, and hopefully them 2 tough challenges set up us well for the final.
They certainly do. You have already had the experience. Been there last year, Div.2, so you know what championship day is like. You have a league title under your belt, I suppose, this year as well. So the experience of big match day is there, but then it goes up a notch when it comes to a championship final, doesn't it?
It does, yeah, and I suppose it's something we spoke about last year, was that the natural progression was, after winning a Div.2 or Div.2 double, that the natural progression was we were going to be Div.1 this year, and it just goes to show how ambitious this group of lads were, that they kicked on and they have a Div.1 league in their back pocket now, and they're in a championship final, so it just goes to show, the hard work that has went in and the ambition of the boys. This is where we've arrived.
And I was just going to say, a unique occasion, we've mentioned it is a first time ever for you. So I suppose you've been there last year, but going into a championship Div.1 final again, I suppose everything goes up a little notch, Fergal, but it's just a game at the end of the day.
It is, it's just another game, and we've faced big challenges this year. We've entered into big games against big teams, and we've managed to come through them, and thankfully, them challenges are going to hopefully stand us on championship day, and we're just looking forward to get into it, and I'm just looking. You must be an incredibly disciplined team, because you have a referee to the left and a referee to the right, so I'm assuming everything's called when you're out on the training field. Yeah, everyone's it's a strict regime up in Corduff, so no, the boys are great, and our other selector as well. We've a great management team. We're very lucky, and you know, they've done a lot of work, especially Pat. You know, he's been with us since we were under 10, since we were very young, and you know, he's stuck us the whole way up, and you know, hopefully we can reward him now in 2 weeks' time.
I suppose finally, Pat, we talked about the club and the club mentality. It's always a massive occasion, no matter what the occasion is in regards to a county final. It'll be senior, intermediate, junior, minor in this case. It's still a massive occasion for the club.
Absolutely. You know, there's no question about that. Like, you know, people ask me about my favourite moment, and I've been in some big occasions myself, but nothing beat winning the junior championship, my first junior championship with my four brothers on the field. And you know, I think it was Conor Coonahan, the Cork centre back. One time he was after winning All Ireland, and the following week he won a junior championship in Cork, and he said he'd hand back the All Ireland medal quicker than he'd hand back his junior championship. Yeah, club is everything. It's the fellas you grow up with. You know, it's your teammates, it's your friends, it's your neighbours. It's, you know, so it's great, fantastic. And let's be honest, you know, Aughnamullen are much the same standard of club as us. It's a massive achievement for them, you know, to get to a championship final as well. You know, and you know, two probably notably small clubs, and both clubs probably a tremendous example of what you can do. Even though if you're a small club, you can always think big, dream big, and achieve big.